Welcome to Howie Vision, and we're all just living in it. Dallas still stinks. You're by the way, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great Friday. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. You know, this is going to be one epic off-season. I mean, it's going to be an off-season that can really change the Eagles for years to come. The Eagles have a chance to build a good team that will be good year after year after year. With a great draft, great free agency, it's going to be huge. And, you know, I was on LB's channel yesterday, shout out to him, and we were talking about the offseason. And during the conversation, we were both just getting more and more excited because this is such a big offseason for the Eagles, man. This is going to be huge. And I see Howie Roseman, he's got his backpack on, and he's with his pocket protector and pencils, and he's just following people around. Malik Willis, he's just following them all over the place. It is Howie Vision, and we're all just living in it. I have no idea what this guy's thinking, but before we get into this video, watch this. Listen. When it comes to watching sports, when it comes to betting sports, there are two ways you could go about it. You could do it the Eagles analytic department way, where they're in a basement in a cold, dark room somewhere, crunching numbers that they don't even know what it means. Or you could do it the Philly 500 way, where you're constantly entertained and enjoy every moment of the process. This is why I start my day by going to thegameday.com, where they add excitement to live sports with a constant influx of sports entertainment and sports betting content, which includes best bets, picks, previews, predictions. You know I love predictions, the ride-along series, and much more. The Game Day makes betting entertaining as well as watching sports in general. And they use their partnership with major sportsbook operators to bring consumers competitive promotions. So click the link in the description and go to thegameday.com. Check it out for yourself. I promise you, you are going to love everything here, and you are going to be entertained, and you are going to get the knowledge you need to make the bets that you need to make. And let them know when you're there. Philly 500 sent you. Also, be sure to check out the Game Day's Ultimate Big Game Giveaway for the Super Bowl. Enter for your chance to score the Ultimate Game Day Package. 65-inch Omni Series 4K Smart TV, $200 gift card to NFL Shop, plus much more. Click the link in the description and go enter for your chance to win that big TV. Shout out to the Game Day for sponsoring this video. Click the link in the description and go enter the sweepstakes. It's free to enter, and go win yourself a big TV, because Philly 500 might have to come over and watch it. You know what I'm saying? Now, first thing first, Doug Pederson gets a job with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think this is a good hire for the Jaguars. I saw that some Jaguar fans weren't happy about it, but I think Doug is a decent coach. Now, depending upon who he gets as offensive coordinator, I think will really determine what's going to happen. Can you say Press Taylor? What are the chances Press Taylor ends up in Jacksonville? Really? It's going to happen. You know it. But Doug needs a good offensive coordinator, and I think if he just has to deal and do his head coaching responsibilities, I think he could do a good job, and he's not going to have nearly the pressure he has in Philly. So it's going to be interesting. Congratulations to Doug Pederson. But look, they got a young quarterback they took first overall, and you got a coach who knows how to deal with quarterbacks. But can he play to Lawrence's strengths? That's going to be the question. We're going to have to see. Should be interesting. They said Kelsey is still mulling retirement. He might retire. He may not retire. I hope Kelsey comes back one more year. I hope he comes back one more year. And people are going to get mad at me for saying this, but I really don't care. Okay? If you brought in Russell Wilson, I guarantee you Kelsey comes back. I guarantee you Russell Wilson. Did you see Russell Wilson on the skill competition? Boom. 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 Who said this guy's shot? He's declining. This man could play another 4 or 5 years easy at a high level. at a high level. Now, I'm not saying the Eagles are going to trade for him, or even if they should. Although, if I had the opportunity, I'd probably have to do it. Because he is Russell Wilson. He's an elite quarterback. But probably, either him or Watson, that would be it. But Watson has so many off-the-field problems. You know what I mean? I don't know. So I think most likely and probably the safest scenario for the Eagles is to keep Jalen Hurts, that's what I'm expecting. So we have to build around Hurts then. That means we have to go out and we have to put a team around Hurts, give him the best opportunity to succeed. That's what we have to do. And if they do that, I think Hurts can raise his game. He got better last year. We're going to see this. To me, this is the year we'll know. We'll know whether he's the guy or not. But before the draft and before the 3 first-round picks come, the Eagles are going to have to go out in free agency, and they're going to have to make some good signings, okay? It's not necessarily you have to get the top guy at the highest money. I mean, they said, I think, because everybody always just talks about the best free agent this year is going to be Davante Adams. What does he want? What is he going to get? He's asking for I think he's asking for $30 million. $30 million. That's a lot. I don't think the Eagles will be able to pay him that. No doubt about it. Oh, one thing I wanted to say. Thank you if you watched my Philly Reacts yesterday. I had a lot of people watch. A lot of people say, we're not going to trade up to the top 3. We're not going to give up 3 first rounds. Who said anything about trading up to the top 3? Just remember, that Philly Reacts video was done when the Dolphins were sitting at 1-7. 1-7. So it looked like we were going to have a legitimate top 5 pick. Who the hell knew that they were going to go on a winning streak and then be stupid enough to fire their coach? What a dumb, dingbat organization that is. Not to mention that the owner don't even know how to pay his guys off to cheat or to tank. He stinks. You can't even win a tank, the Miami Dolphins. Stinks. Anyways, I just wanted to thank people for watching that, though. It really means a lot to me, and I'm going to be putting out a bunch more. Don't worry. And just because I put out a guy's name does not mean I'm saying we have to draft him. I'm not picking guys I think have to be drafted by us. I'm looking at everybody. I just wanted to get that out there and say that. So anyways, free agency is important. And it always comes before the draft. And a lot of times free agency can dictate where you go in the draft. You've seen in the previous years, the Eagles have tended to choose one side of the ball in free agency and one side of the ball in the draft. Will they do that this year? I don't know. But I can tell you what, I don't think they should. Listen, the Eagles have multiple holes, okay? But if I had to choose really top 3 positions that I would like to see addressed in free agency, it would be number 1, defensive line. I still think you need I think you need 2 defensive ends. You need 2. Damn, I look like Denzel Washington today. But you need 2 defensive ends. Then, the second position I would go for in free agency is a wide receiver. You need a veteran wide receiver, somebody to go along with Devontae Smith. I don't necessarily believe it has to be an outside wide receiver. I think Quez Watkins I think he needs more time, deserves another shot. The guy had 647 yards. So if he improves this year, he may have 800 yards. Okay, that's not out there. But he's got to get more opportunities, and we need a veteran wide receiver. I also think you need you're going to need linebackers. You're also going to need defensive backs, including a corner and a safety. Now, I would try to bring back Steven Nelson 1 year on the cheap, and I would go and try to get myself a safety. Okay? I got to get myself a safety, whether it's in the draft, whether it's in free agency, maybe both. Okay? So, my top 3 targets. And I know you're saying, well, what about linebackers? Listen, the Eagles need defensive end. They need a wide receiver. They need linebackers. They need a corner. They need a safety. And they need an interior offensive line. You're not going to get everything in one go, in one off season, okay? But I would focus really heavy on my defensive line. And I'm going to say this till I'm blue in the face. I would focus heavy both draft and free agency. But in free agency, my number 1 target I'm looking to go and get is a defensive end. And assuming that people don't think Hassan Reddick can play 4-3 defensive end. If you think he can, he's my number one target. But if you're going to say, nah, he's really a 3-4 outside linebacker and edge rusher, then I have to go, my number one target would be Emmanuel Ogbah. Emmanuel Ogbah with Miami. Now, he may not be available. The list of free agents we have right now, we don't know who's going to come off that list. Teams are going to sign, franchise, whatever they're going to do. We don't know who's coming off that list. But as the list stands today, I would go Emmanuel Ogbah number one. He had two seasons in a row with 9 sacks each. He's getting better and better each year. He's 27 years old, and I would target him. I don't think it would kill you. It would be a huge contract and use up all your cap money. I think it still allows you to go out and do different things. The second person I would target in free agency is Christian Kirk. Assuming he becomes a free agent, I would go after him because I look at the receiver position like this. Quez Watkins, give him another year to develop. He got better and better last year. He didn't drop many balls. He just lacked opportunities. They didn't give him enough opportunities on the outside. I'm putting him on the outside. I'm going to give him a chance. I'm going to give Quez Watkins a chance. Okay, opposite Devontae Smith. But I'm going to put Christian Kirk in the slot. I'm going to put Christian Kirk in the slot. The guy can play versus man, play zone. He's a deep threat. He can run after the catch. I think him in the slot, especially, he could be a third down guy, a very important guy for the Eagles. I think that would do so much for the Eagles on the offense. Christian Kirk, just adding him and putting him in there and giving Quez the proper respect he deserves, and then treating Devontae Smith like a number one. I don't care. You don't like cheesesteaks. Who the hell cares? You don't have to. As long as you don't say anything about the roast pork sandwiches with the provolone and the broccoli rabe. That's the junks. Alright? Just saying. I'm on a diet. They call me Fat Philly. I was in the Gambino crime family. They would call me Fat Philly. That would be my name. I have my pinky up drinking with my pinky ring. You know what I mean? But now I'm getting all crazy. Devontae Smith is the number one wide receiver. Treat him like a number one wide receiver. You know what I mean? Treat him like one. Okay? So, I would go Christian Kirk. I think that would be a huge signing. Of course, you got to get running backs, and you got to try to get another internal offensive lineman. What the hell was I saying? Anyways, you have to get another interior offensive lineman in free agency or the draft. I believe that. But if I get Christian Kirk, Emmanuel Ogbah, Christian Kirk in free agency, I think both sides of the ball dramatically get better right away. Then the other guy I would target, and I'm kind of bringing this guy up because his name has been floated out there as potential Eagles targets. Okay, and that is safety Jabrill Peppers. He tore his ACL. He got hurt. He's only 26 years old. Played for the Giants, which is never good. And then the Browns, that's not worse, but it's bad. But Jabrill Peppers, to me, has some talent. The guy has some talent, and he can do different things. From special teams, if he needs be, to blitzing, to playing more like a linebacker for certain downs, and a safety. I think you can move him around. I think he's very versatile. He would be a very interesting signing for me. If you could add him, and I'm assuming Rodney McLeod's going to play one more year. If I'm the Eagles, I would not mind that at all. And here's the thing. If you got Ogbah, Kirk, and Peppers, I don't know that you're going to break the bank. You're going to pay them. They're going to get paid. But you still may have money to do some things like linebacker, cornerback. I would try to bring Steven Nelson back for a year. Okay? And then, offensive lineman. And then, of course, at that point, you go to the draft. I'm still getting a pass rusher. But I'll tell you this. Those linebackers, Dean, Lloyd, very much be interested in grabbing one of those guys with one of my first round picks. And that's how I would dress my linebacker position. I think getting Ogbah, Kirk, and then like a safety, if it's Peppers or somebody else, would be able. It would allow you to address so many different other positions in the draft, like linebacker, cornerback. I mean, there's some players coming out. Stingley at corner, Gardner. Was this Gardner Sauce or whatever the hell his name? Sauce Gardner. Why am I calling backwards? Sorry, but you know what I mean, like Sauce Gardner, Stingley. All those guys would be available possibly in the draft or close to when the Eagles pick, and then you have the opportunity to build that linebacking core up in the draft. I think that would be a great, great move by the Eagles. So really, Agba, Christian Kirk, and Peppers would be three of my guys today. Now things can change because people will get signed and whatnot. But those are three guys. If I could get in free agency and then going into the draft, I would look for Agba, Kirk, Peppers. If I could do that, I think the Eagles would dramatically be improved. Now, if they were going after quarterbacks or something like that, then it's a whole different story. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. So one thing I really didn't talk too much about in this video is Howie Roseman, Howie Vision, and him apparently going all over the place following Malik Willis yesterday. Like he was like everywhere he was watching him closely. I don't know what this guy's thinking. I don't know what this guy's going to do in the draft. I have no idea. That's what makes this so interesting, because I can see the Eagles doing stuff that we have no idea. What's up, kitty? Hey, who are you good talking to? Cat thinks I'm talking to them. Every time I do a video, Cat thinks I'm talking to them. Anyways, with Howie Vision, we're all just living in it. Who knows what's going to happen? Denzel Washington, out.